Hello everybody, welcome back to Easel Talk. My name is Corey Peters, and today in this video I'm going to show you how to organize a tunnel composition using grids. So let's get started. So these are the grids that we're going to be using today, and if you're unfamiliar with grids or these in particular, then I highly recommend you watch my introduction to grids video before proceeding with this one. Alright, so here's a real quick drawing I did, and I've used the grid to influence where things go. So let's examine how I've used the grid here, and I want to make it clear you don't need to use the grid to influence every single aspect or line in your drawing. Okay, you want to be selective, otherwise it'll be stiff. Okay, so using that line to locate that part of the wall, using that grid line to locate that part of the arch, and that line to locate that side of the arch, and there as well if you follow through those two intersecting points. Use that diagonal to locate the cat. By the way, the cat is there compositionally for balance. If the cat's not there, then the composition is heavy on the left-hand side. That's going to be the focal point right there where the pyramids are. You'll see in the other examples, the focal point is not always the area where we end up looking through the tunnel. It could be in front or on the side, so we'll examine that. And there it is without the grid. Simple, right? Doesn't look too complicated. Doesn't look too forced. Okay, so again, that's the focal point, and let's look at some other examples. Here's a watercolor by Edward Seago. Let's take a look at how Seago may have used the grid to influence his composition. Okay, so you can see that the top of the arch is influenced by that diagonal. We can see that long vertical skinny rectangle is located based upon that purple vertical right there. You can see this archway in the background is located based on this part of the grid. You can see that horizontal shape rests on that orange line right there. Okay, that little diagonal located by that orange line. The top of the tent here is lying at the halfway point of the horizontal grid line. Okay, if we pass a line through these two intersecting points, that left side of the arch is located based upon that line. And we can see this vertice of the plane change between light and shadow of that rectangular shape is located based upon that orange line. The figure's head is located based upon that intersecting area of lines. Alright, so the figure that is facing us is within the focal point area. And the focal point is really that entire tunnel-shaped area. On the right-hand side, you can see the artist is using those figures in the tent to balance the composition, just like the cat was balancing the composition in the first example that we looked at. Here's a woodblock print by Yoshida Hiroshi, and let's look at how he's using the horizon line located by that purple line on the grid. This vertical column located by those vertical intersecting points, and you can keep breaking down your grid into more and more lines. Same thing there, passing through those intersecting points of the grid. He's located that part of that column on the left-hand side. The tops of those trees are influenced by that orange midline. You can see this turquoise diagonal is influencing those figures, and also that vertical purple line is also influencing the location of those figures. And that would be the focal point too, because that's the only area where we have that bright saturated red. So our eye locks into that area first. And then we wander into the background and look at that palace, which is located through the tunnel shape. Okay, this is Dean Cornwell using the grid to locate that part of the shadow. Locating the shutters and the window structure above that line. Using the grid to separate those figures. You can see that diagonal part of the grid flows through that figure and through the hands. Again, those figures in the corner on the right hand side are influenced by those diagonals. That part of the buttress is located based upon that line of the grid, that purple line there, and the shutter right there on the window as well. Our focal point is right there, right up front in the foreground. This is the only figure that's looking directly and confronting the viewer. Our last example is going to be by Taiwanese artist Jimmy Liao, and you do not always need to use a tunnel in your composition. We're just talking about a tunnel shape. So here's a tunnel of trees. You could use a rainbow as your tunnel, or you could use two people standing close to each other holding umbrellas that bridge together at the top to create a tunnel shape. You could use a lot of different things. So we're just talking about a shape that's like a tunnel that you can look through in your composition. Alright, let's see how he's using the grid here to locate things in his composition. This is a symmetrical composition. You can see that this diagonal in the grid is influencing the location of that boy, and the bottom root structures of those two trees. Same thing with the female figure on the right hand side. That diagonal is locating her, especially the back of the head, and the root system of those trees on that side. Okay, that diagonal on the grid is locating that boy's arm and shoulder and neck. And same with the girl on the right hand side. The diagonal is influencing her position. You can see the boy's hand and the object he's holding comes right to the center midline of vertical line of that grid. And that grid divides the two trees, the two sets of trees on the left and right. And the position of the boy and the girl are based upon those two vertical grid lines right there. And the upper left part of the diamond is locating and positioning the angle of that tree, as well as the other trees are influenced by that angle. And same with the right hand side too. And our focal point is right in the center of our tunnel shape. Well, I hope this video has given you some insight on how you can use the grid to organize a tunnel composition. And if you found value in this video, please subscribe or hit the like button. And I look forward to showing you more videos regarding different compositions and how those compositions can be organized with our grid system. So all of you have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.